So now we will discuss about the closest pair using brute force approach. Before that, we must know what is brute force and what is closest pair. Brute force is nothing but it is a straightforward approach and it is used to find optimal solution with all possible solution. And what is closest pair? Closest pair is finding a shortest distance between pair of points. So in a given plane, so actually closest pair is a geometric problem which contains a pair of plane and n number of points. Among those points, we have to find out a pair of points which is having least distance between each other. So that is called as closest pair. So okay. So now, we have to find out the closest pair with the brute force approach. So for that, for example, we'll consider there is a plane x and y plane and there are a number of points, for example here p1 and p2, p3, p4, p5 and then p6. So now we have to find out from p1 what is the distance, and from p1 to p2 what is the distance, p1 to p4 what is the distance, p1 to p6. Likewise, we have to find out with all possible solution. Similarly, we have to find the distance from p2 to p3, p2 to p4, p2 to p5 and p6. Similarly, with all possible solution, we have to find out the best solution, p1 to p2 and p1 to p3, p1 to p4, p1 to p5, p1 to p6 and then p2 to p3, p2 p4 and p2 p5, p2 p6 and then p3 to p4, p3 to p5, so p3 to p6. So then we'll start with the point p4, p4 to p5, p4 to p6 and then start with p5, p5 to p6. So likewise, we have to take all the solution, whatever the possible solution is there, we have to calculate with all possible solution. So then from that possible solution, we have to get the best solution, we have to find the optimal solution. So normally the basic formula for finding the distance between 2 points is, so the basic formula for calculating a distance between 2 points is xi minus xj. So let us consider the 2 points are xi and xj and the formula is xi minus xj the whole square plus yi minus yj the whole square. Okay. So by using this formula, we can able to find out. So for example, p1, from p1 to p2, so this is xi, this is xj. We can able to find out what is the distance from this point to this point. So likewise, we can able to find out the distance between each and every points. So let us write the algorithm. So algorithm name, will consider it as closest pair. And here the input is going to be a set of points with coordinates. And output is index 1. What is the index 1 and what is the index 2? That is point 1 and point 2. The 2 points which are, and output is index 1 and index 2. So index 1 is nothing but the point 1 and index 2 is point 2. So we have to get output of 2 points which is having closest to each other. And then I will consider one variable daemon. So here we are going to initialize as infinity because we don't know what is the distance for the, initially we don't know what is the minimum distance. So we have to assume it as infinity. And then we have to take two for loop I equal to 1 to n minus 1 do, and for j equal to I plus 1 to n. So then we know the formula. So that formula we have to find out the value of the 2 points. By using that formula, that answer we have to put it into variable d. So square root of xi, this is the basic formula for finding distance between 2 points, xi plus xj the whole square plus yi plus yj the whole square. So already we have discussed here. So this only we are writing here. And then sorry, this is not a plus, this is minus. So as we have written the formula already, xi minus xj the whole square, yi minus yj the whole square. So that we have to write here minus. So square root of xi minus xj the whole square plus yi minus yj the whole square. So the answer we have to store it into the variable d. And then we have to check if d is less than d min. So what are the value we are getting here? So that value we have to compare whether it is lesser than the d min value. So that is infinity value. So if that condition is true, so then we have to substitute the value of d into d min, and we have to substitute the value whatever it is there in I into index 1, and whatever the value is there in j into index 2. Okay, so whenever the condition gets satisfied, so until that we have to perform the same thing. Otherwise return the value index 1 comma index 2. Okay, so now we will see the time complexity of the problem. Since we have two iterations, as we have discussed already, we have two iterations, two for loops. So that we have to write I equal to 1 to n minus 1 and sum of j equal to I plus 1 to n. Okay, so these things already we have discussed. In mathematical analysis of recursive and non-recursive, we have discussed why we have to write this sum of functions and all. So since we are going to find out the time complexity, so we have to represent as C of n. And we are using two iterations, so we have to write two summation functions. So when we are going to find out the time complexity, we have to identify what is the basic operation